Hi guys, thanks for joining us for some more Real Talk Dog Talk. I'm Tori.
And I'm Barb.
For those of you who haven't joined us before, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, go ahead and email us at realtalkdogtalk@yahoo.com.
And if you are a regular listener and you have been emailing us, we do love to get those emails and you can keep them coming in.
We do not have any staff today. They have been, I don't want to say fired necessarily, but indefinitely laid off.
So are they on LOA?
Well, yeah, we'll call it that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
today we're going to talk about kennels, kennel training. And, many years ago when I was younger, they didn't really even have kennels. They didn't even think about spaying and neuter dogs when I was younger. But kennel training has really become a really important part of not only training a dog, but also good house manners. For me, I have thought in, at certain times that I didn't like the kennels in my house and, I didn't need them when I was younger, so maybe I should just get rid of them and just, change my ways. But honestly, I think dog training and handling has really evolved over the years, and it is really quite beneficial to have the kennel around, especially if you have a puppy or a very young dog that you're working with, or even a rescue dog that's just getting acclimated to a new house. The kennel is really helpful as far as controlling bad behavior.
I mean, I even now with my grown dogs, I definitely still even use the kennel when I'm, when I'm in the shower or doing something I just don't want them to get into, all that stuff. It's so even with grown dogs too, it's handy to be able to have that as an option without them fighting it or anything like that.
Well, you work at home.
Yes.
So
Which I do have to put them in they get a little rambunctious while I'm trying to take phone call or,
right.
Which they're pretty good for the most part, but there are times where.
So you don't need any lamb chops squeaking in the background?
No, and, surprisingly enough, I have put those up and somehow I find some squeaking in the background and I'm like,
But if you put them in the kennel.
They can't get it.
Right.
They can't get it.
So kennels can be beneficial, and it's kind of a love-hate thing with the kennels. They're kind of cumbersome at times. Well, depending on the size of the dog. I guess frequently when I talk, I think in terms of large dogs, just because that's what we breed. So our kennels are quite a bit bigger.
Which there's some smaller ones. I have a smaller dog, and my work desk has a kennel built into it, which is really nice because him being small, he just sits, he's fine being there by my feet. He likes.
Yeah, so Jim, the Shiba Inu.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
the thing is the great thing about that is, it may seem like he's being kennelled while you're working, but he's right by you, so it's almost like a bonding time for you guys. It's like he's your work buddy.
Well, he is too, and even if he has got the door open, he'll still go in there and lay in there, so
Yeah.
it's like.
You don't need to trap him.
Yeah, he's fine. He's all right. Yeah.
Well, and that, that's one thing I think about too. I don't know if you've noticed, they're getting to make more crate furniture.
Yes.
Where it actually is quite pretty, some of it. There's private people who just make it custom made for you, sizes, design. And then even if you go on Amazon or Wayfair, there's Etsy, there's crate furniture on there, and they're super cool because they've got some that are end tables, some that are shelving units. The wood ones aren't great for dogs that might chew, but they do have some metal ones that are available too that are pretty cool too. They got like a mesh instead of wire, and they got a nice wood top and wide range of crate furniture.
As long as you don't have too many dogs, those are a good option.
Oh, well.
Otherwise, you'll have TV stands all over your house. Is that a TV stand? Well, it works for plants too. Yeah. It's fine.
Well, that's real funny, Tori. Real funny. I think she is directing the too many dogs, to me because even though that I am a breeder and I have a kennel building, the majority of my dogs are in the house with me. So
they're pets too.
I do have, a crate furniture TV stand, and then I have two in the front room that are, I just use them for like organizing my work area, and then I have one in the kitchen that's part of the, coffee shelf. So yeah, I have a few of them around.
Yeah, I mean, so those are homemade too. Let me say though, it's quite the construction lady here.
Yeah.
Those-
I stole a few ideas.
Yeah, those are good though. I mean, but so she doesn't have TV stands everywhere.
Yeah, I made them into other things.
Right.
And then there's underneath the stairs, I made like a little den in there, like you see on, what is the Pinterest?
Yep.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I made one in there too. So my dogs are kind of scattered when I'm not home. They got their own little bit of space, but
Well, the one under the stairs, we should put Cody in. That's nice.
Cody.
Yeah.
Cody is Tori's brother, her younger brother. I'm not really sure why she chose him.
He's annoying.
He's also the largest of my boys, so we'd have to fold him up and tuck him in.
He's less likely to Charlie horse me, so.
So he's the nicest.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing is when you are picking out a size for the dog, not your brother's.
I mean.
You want to pick one that is. It's kind of tough when you get them for a puppy because sometimes you have to size up as they get older. But you really want to get one that is not huge to their size. They need to be able to move around and maneuver their body and readjust. But if you go too big, they basically use one end for the bathroom and one for sleeping. Mm-hmm. So you got to be kind of careful with that. You don't want to put a Chihuahua in one that's big enough for a Great Dane.
Right.
So that just leaves a little too much room for bad habits.
I think there's like a 3 kennel stage in my house where there's a small one when you first get them, and then the mid-size, and then the one they end up in.
Fortunately, we do keep quite a few kennels. We use, when we're potty training, we use the collapsible wire kennels, and they have 2 doors, one on the long end and one on the side. And those are nice because you can place them in different parts of your house, and it gives you more options for placing them.
You can make it work a little bit better for the whatever situation you got going on.
In the room itself, yeah. So those are super nice. And also, I don't know if you've seen those kennel covers. They sometimes tie down onto the edges, and they just provide a little bit more privacy for the dog.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people say, oh, I can just throw a blanket over them. But what happens, Tori, do you know?
My dogs pull it through and chew the blanket up.
Right. So those kennel covers actually kind of attach to the bottom edges so that they can't get a hold of them and do that. So, yeah, blankets are, if your dog won't mess with it, that's a cheaper, solution.
That
but
is great.
The kennel covers are awesome because they can't pull them through so easily.
Yeah. Mine will for sure. Blankets are a goner. You can't.
Actually, I set a bag of laundry next to, I actually have the impact crates, those really, they were used in the military as well. So they're very heavy duty crates, and those are for high anxiety dogs, and I do use those for dogs that are occasionally a little bit more difficult, but I set the bag next to it, and I went to clean out the dog's kennel the next day, and they had some underwear in there, they had some socks, they had a pair of jeans half chewed up. And those have very small holes on the side. They're maybe the size
maybe a $50.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. And they got a hold of that through that little hole and pulled so much stuff through there. I couldn't even believe it.
You wouldn't think with those big lips they'd be able to, but they...
I guess if you're in there for 8 hours overnight.
Got a lot of time to think about it.
Yeah, I'm sure she was assessing that for a bit. But, and there's a couple other companies that make the kind of a high anxiety crate. Cabela's does, and then Ruffland and Lucky Dog. Oh, I'm sorry, Lucky Duck. I would think Lucky Dog, but I guess Lucky Duck. I don't know where that comes from with dogs.
Is it a duck hunting dog? I don't know.
I don't know why they would call it Lucky Duck, but I guess that is a company that makes the high anxiety escape proof kennels too. So the impact dog crates, I don't know how they compare for price, but I know those are a little bit expensive, which is why I only have one of those.
It has come in handy though, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And they definitely are durable. There was we had one dog and he was impossible to keep in a kennel.
Escape artist.
Yeah, and that was the only thing. And even that, you can tell he was from the inside the paint. He was clearly trying to get out.
Yeah.
But it held. I mean, you can't get out of those things.
No,
those things
they're
are
very. The only thing I really don't like about the impact dog crates, which they are excellent for containment, but they don't have a very good view.
right.
I mean, I feel like dogs should almost feel like they aren't shut in, like they should have good, visual. Like if you haven't, like I have the one in the living room with the TV sitting on it. I feel like they're still part of what's happening in the room. They're not blocked out.
Yep.
And that's my personal taste.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the dog to be able to see what's happening around them and not feel like they're isolated.
Well, and it can't be fun, and you put a dog in a kennel, which they probably don't want to be there anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But then you got them. It's like a cell. You
Mm-hmm.
can't see out. You're not a part of anything. It's
Mm-hmm.
that can't be fun for them.
Right. So I mean, that's about the only negative I'd say on the impact dog crates. They come in great colors and different sizes. They also have ones that are more stationary, but the one I have is collapsible.
Yep, it folds up.
Yeah, so it's easy for storage. We love anything that we can kind of fold up and put away for a while because we go through different sizes. But also there's the I guess I'm not real sure what they would be called for lack of a better term. The pet taxi type kennel.
Oh, the just basic plastic kennels.
Yep, it's two pieces with a grate on the front. Sometimes they have a second door on the top.
Yeah.
Things like that. Those are another type of kennel that people sometimes like. And there's so many different brands of the wire kennels and the pet taxi type kennels that we just didn't really feel it was realistic to make a list of all that. So when you're doing your research for what kennel will work best for your dog or for your situation in your home, those are some ones that you can look for.
I have a dog. Well, Enzo.
Mm-hmm. Who's on leave right now.
Who's on leave right now? Rotten dog. He's actually has a large wire kennel, and there's about maybe an inch of metal that holds that kennel closed, and he will lean on it and have his foot sticking out.
And his lips. I've seen him with his nose on it.
Yep.
Pushing forward, and his teeth are showing.
Yep. And he just stays in there. He stays in. When there are times where I come home and he's not.
Yeah. So he clearly knows he can get out.
Yeah. He just chooses, if he's going to be good or not.
Yeah.
So, he's not really the type of dog I'd have to get any sort of impact type kennel for him because, I also, if I really need him to stay in there, I just use a shoelace.
Oh, which is way, way, way secure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Never get past a shoelace.
No. So it seems to stop him.
Well, Enzo is a very agreeable dog. He's not one that needs real... Other than getting into the trash, he's pretty easygoing.
Yeah, that's his downfall is the garbage. So,
right. So one thing I want to talk about here on the crate training. First off, some of the things that we like to talk to people about is how long you're going to leave the dog in the kennel. And that is so difficult for people who work. A lot of times they recommend puppies from 15 to 16 weeks, no more than 3 to 4 hours. And that is reasonable as far as the young dog. And then if they're over 17 weeks, they say 4 to 5 hours. And with any dog, a maximum of 8 hours, which allows you sleep time. But the problem with that is for working people, it's just not realistic, to say no more than 3 hours or 4 hours.
Right.
One, you can't have a young puppy running around your house tearing things up and peeing and pooping all over, or that's just going to be their way of living, is that they're going to think it's okay to do that.
Right.
And then also they will be shredding toilet paper, digging in plants, and eating your furniture.
Well, and it's better to have them in there a little bit longer, and it's like you say, set them up for success.
Right.
So maybe it might not be ideal to have them in there as long as they are during the workday, but you're giving them the opportunity to just be in their own space for the day. And when you're home, you can take that time and focus on them when you are there, and just keep them out as much as possible after that. But
right. Well, when Enzo was a puppy, you had a job that you could leave for long enough during lunch that you ran home.
Yes.
And pottied him and gave him some time to run around the house.
Yep.
Then you put him back and went back to work, and that worked out amazing.
That was an amazing situation too, because job maybe not, but being able to it was an hour lunch break in the middle of the day. I'd run home.
You were close enough to home.
Yep.
With your work.
5-minute commute.
Mm-hmm.
So run home really quick, and he maybe that's why he doesn't really mind being in the kennel so much. He was able to kind of have that break, but and not everybody can do that, but that worked out really great.
Yeah. Well, and it's important if they are in there for, longer periods, like the 8-hour range, that you give them enough time to, run off that energy from being, in the smaller area. If you don't have a fenced yard where they can just get out there and get their zoomies over with, you need to get out there and take them for a good walk, throw a ball around for them. Anything like that, just to let them get that extra energy out.
Well, and when they're in the kennels too, you can always, it's never a bad idea to give them something to chew on, keep them busy while they're in there.
Right. One thing I love are those digestible chew bones.
Oh, yeah.
There's some that are called busy bones.
Yep.
And, if they swallow it, it's not going to get stuck in their intestines and all that, like pig ears. So when I'm know I'm going to leave them in there for a good 8 hours, if I'm sleeping or gone at a job, excuse me, I always give the digestible bone to them, because it gives them a little bit more time, chewing on that. And
I do wish they made bigger ones. Enzo eats them in 2 bites.
I know, so does Ziggy.
Yeah, it's a little bigger would be all right, but
yeah. So that is a problem for bigger dogs, but it's great if you can give them something like that, and then they see the going in the kennel as a positive.
Yes,
they aren't thinking they're being punished or shut in or anything else. They're thinking, "Ooh, it's time for a bone," so they're happy to go in there.
Well, and at night too, one thing that I've done, which not everybody is a fan of, and you can lose a little bit of sleep doing it when they're puppies, but I have a crate in my room. Mm-hmm. So when it's bedtime, okay, they are in their crate, but they're still with you. They can see you. There's, I don't know if that really makes it better, but...
Well, I don't know if it makes it better, but it still kind of, keeps them part of, what's going on in your home. They're not shut off, in a family room or a utility room or something like that in their kennel. They're part of the bedtime process, and
yeah,
they're in with you. So I know a lot of people who get puppies say, well, can I sleep with them at night? And you can. It's just a little bit risky. But having a kennel in your room, that's an excellent idea to still keep them part of what's going on, but make sure they aren't up chewing on the curtains, or even honestly, it could be dangerous. They could be chewing on electrical cords or anything like that, start a fire or burn themselves. So, that's a great way to kind of keep them in what's happening and not shut them out.
Well, and I do allow my dogs to sleep with me. I got a larger bed just for that.
Yeah.
So, and that makes that transition a little bit easier too. They've kind of got the idea, well, all right, when it's bedtime, this is where we go. Eventually, yep, we'll be able to get up in bed with you too, but it kind of gets them in that mindset too of this is the routine.
Right.
So.
And that's true too. I think with the kennel training, as far as how long you keep them in there, you don't want to constantly put them in there, but I do know sometimes, like with Gabby, she is a high drive girl.
Yes.
And sometimes I'll watch her in the house and she is just like poking at Floki and poking at Elsa, and she just goes from one dog to another, just, pestering and pestering, and they start to get sick of her, honestly.
Yes.
And so I don't scold her. I don't get mad at her. She just has a lot of energy. So in a really positive manner, I'll just, have her go lay in the kennel in the living room where the TV is with everybody else. And I'll just have her go in there just to have, like 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
To just kind of
take a break.
Yeah. Get herself in check and slow it down.
Yep. Yes.
And it's not a punishment. I don't yell at her. It's not a bad thing. It's just a way of getting her to, take a breath, for gosh sakes. Everyone's getting sick of you.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and that's, there again, too, you don't want other dogs getting mad and,
Yeah, causing a rift between two dogs.
Yeah, over something silly.
Yeah. So that's one thing I think about, too, when I'm doing kennel training is not only can you put the dog in it when you're too busy to watch them for 10, 15 minutes, but also just to get them to slow down a little bit and kind of get in a better frame of mind. And then also for sleep time, you can't watch them when you're asleep. Obviously, everybody needs their sleep. So those are some really great reasons for doing the kennel training. Also, one other reason for doing kennel training is if you do have to take the dog to the vet for, any extended time where, if they get sick and they're kenneled at the vet or neutered, have any other kind of procedure done where they have to stay at the vet, it makes it a lot easier for the vet techs, the veterinarian, to be able to get them in and out of a kennel if they're already used to being in a kennel. If they've never been in one, I used to work for a vet. You take a farm dog that's never been in a kennel and you tell them that you're going to shut them in there, they will fight you tooth and nail. So kennel training is a great way to make sure that they're accepting of that type of thing as well.
Well, one thing that I've learned too, because I have a lower frustration level than some people.
Yeah.
But when it comes to training, if I'm at a point where I'm just getting frustrated with the puppy and I'm not thinking on, the correct way for, training, commands, any of that. Sometimes I just put them away for my own sake so that I'm not giving them negative energy or whatever.
So basically what you're saying is when I put Gabby in there to regroup, sometimes you put your dogs in there so you can regroup.
Yep.
And then approach them with a calmer head.
Yes, because they don't listen if you're acting crazy and frustrated.
Right.
And so sometimes it's because of me, but it's helping both of us.
Right.
Well,
if you're dealing with a dog when you're frustrated, they're going to feel that, and then they get kind of scatterbrained. They aren't really sure. They're thinking, oh, I'm not doing what they want. What should I do? Should I do this? Should I go there? Should I do this? What do they want? I don't know what they want. And then in your head, you're thinking the same thing. I don't know what this dog is doing. I don't know why they're going there. What are they doing? They're going this way. And none of it makes sense to either one of you. So it's really counterproductive. Keep trying to work with them when you've already hit your frustration level.
Right.
And instead of just ending it on a bad note, give them one of those digestible bones, put them in their kennel for 10 minutes. They think things are great and it's done. And then you can regroup and reapproach it.
Yep. Yes. So it's kind of a tool for so many good reasons.
Right.
I mean, there's just so many reasons to just make that a habit.
And keeping a positive thing.
I mean, my dogs love going and just laying in their kennels throughout the day. Mm-hmm. I mean, they just will.
And around my house, like I've already said, I have several around my house. it is not uncommon for my dogs to just go lay down in there if they're going to take a nap.
It's like their room.
Yeah, I do have a 18-year-old husky. His name is Rocky, and he's a little frail at this age, and sometimes he'll just go lay in one while the Cane Corsos are roughhousing.
Yep.
And he feels the gate's not shut.
Yep.
He's just in there relaxing.
Out of the way. They can't bump into him or step on him.
Yep. So he's, welcome. He's never kenneled.
No.
So that's not anything I've ever done with him. But when he is feeling like they're too rough, he can lay down in there and feel safe.
Yeah.
So
it is a safe space. Yeah.
It really is. Although they seem inconvenient to have around the house, there's so many reasons to use them, and training has evolved from when I was younger to where we didn't really have anything like that till now, where they're so helpful, and they are a huge part of training in so many ways. They're just a really great thing, and I love that they're part of the furnishings now.
They have some really cool options.
What I want to get, and I don't have, is some type of crate furniture that has the barn door sliding thing.
Oh, I love that.
Because I am always tripping and ramming into those gates that are swinging open.
Yeah.
That's kind of an ongoing problem with me. Maybe my vision's beginning to fail me now. I don't know. I'm getting to that age. I have to think about it.
Well, maybe. I've got 2 kennel doors in a small walkway area, so I go walking through there and I'm hitting my one knee or the other. So
you have all your kennels in your office.
Yes.
So
yeah.
Paperwork, computers, desk. No, but she's got dogs.
Dogs. Plenty of those.
Anyhow, so I did do some looking on the internet for some crate training tips, and I found one from Purina.
Okay.
And I'm just going to throw these out there for folks that are looking for ideas. The first one is to find a permanent location somewhere close to where the family is, yet allows for a little bit of privacy. And, that's where some of those kennel covers are nice, because it does kind of give them a little bit of privacy, but still allows them to be with you.
You can't always, your house may not be set up for being able to give them privacy.
Right.
Necessarily.
More of an open floor plan type.
Yeah.
The second one is, and this is an excellent one, remove collar before putting them in the kennel, so it doesn't get stuck on parts of the kennel or crate. That is a really great point. I had not even thought of that. My dogs do not wear collars. When we're at home, I only put the collars on them if I take them somewhere. So I really had not even thought of that.
Yeah.
But that is a great point, to take the collars off before they're in there, or any kind of leash, halter, anything like that, so they're kind of natural in there. Another tip, which, is to feed the puppy in the crate to make it a positive experience. Now, I've tried that, and that doesn't work for us.
I've had a lot of dishes flipped.
Yeah,
that.
The Cane Corso does this kind of fun thing where they hop at things with their front feet, and I have had so many flipped foods.
Yeah.
Food is wasted, it's in cracks, it's not eaten, it's played with.
Yeah.
So that's a really nice idea.
Yeah.
And if it works for you, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't work for us.
Maybe glue the dish to the bottom of the kennel. I don't know.
I suppose we'd have to spend a little more on those kennels that have brackets in them to hold the dish. But somehow I think that would become a toy. I'm thinking of Floki carrying his dog beds around. I don't think that would really work either, but certainly if that works for you, that's a great suggestion. Let's see, this one. Don't open the door if they start to... Okay. If they start crying and whining, do not let them out, because that only teaches them that if they make a lot of noise, you'll let them out. Mm-hmm. That's a really good one, too. So
it is. And they can make noise.
Oh, boy, they can.
Oh, yeah.
I've... Not just whining, but the pouncing at where the gate opens. They'll do that repeatedly.
Yep, Chewbacca noises.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost tried to make a noise, but I couldn't do But yeah, so, if they're crying and fussing, that is not the time to let them out. Go ahead and let them, work through that a little bit. That's an excellent one. And then the last one they had is no matter their age, try not to leave them in their crates for more than 8 hours. And that is a really good rule. That gives you sleep time. That is a little tougher for folks that are working away from home. I know there's a lot more people working remotely in their homes, but still there are the group of people that have to go to work, and you got travel time. That is hard. I think what's important is when you are gone for that 8 hours, 9 hours of travel time, that when you get home, you do allow them plenty of exercise time. Also, one thing that I think about too is their sleep surface.
Yes.
Which can be tricky as well with destructive dogs.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say my dogs are destructive, but when they're done with the bed, they're done with it. So, they need to have something that just even a crate pad, something, a folded blanket so that they aren't laying on that hard surface, causing, stress to their shoulders, elbows, hips.
Which can be tricky to find something that will work. I have one of my dogs likes to, I put a couple nice blankets in there, got a nice, comfortable surface, and he balls them all up.
Yeah.
And then he's on the plastic. So I need to get some sort of bed and,
Well, that is, we talked about that last time, the indestructible beds, and
Yeah.
I do want to possibly dive into those and spend a little more, see if we can't find something that would be better for, all the dogs in general.
Right.
Because we do, Tori and I run Primo Corso Kennels together, and I have purchased elevated beds, and they destroy them.
Work for JoJo, but she's...
Yeah, JoJo's a very old husky
Yes.
as well. I have had huskies in the past, and I have 2 left, and they are older and living their lives as they are, a little bit frail, and she does like the elevated bed. It gets her off the cold floor. I throw a blanket on there and she can tussle that around.
Yeah.
But she does like the elevated bed. Other than her, I haven't had great luck with them. So in the kennels, what I do is I just fold a blanket that doesn't have any fluff to it. And they still chew on them and shred them a little bit, but they seem to be the thing that lasts. Otherwise, there's,
mattress pads.
Toppers.
Or toppers, yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. I've used that, cut it down to size, and wrapped it in a larger blanket, which is not,
Problem with that is you have to think in terms of, like, if they have an accident in there, then it gets into the mattress pad.
Yep.
So that might be something you could do for an older dog. But when they're in there for 8 hours, you want to make sure to keep them comfortable. And I also have a dog that wads theirs up, and Yazi's, puts his in the corner and then kind of lays there on his shoulder on it. So I don't know what he...
Yeah.
But
Wow.
anyhow, that's the tips that we found from Purina Dog Food Company, and they are not our sponsors, but
They had some good tips.
They had some good tips. So we thought we'd share those with you guys. That is about all we have on kennel training, or crate training if you like. If you do have any questions or comments, email us at realtalkdogtalk@yahoo.com. And we go over those weekly, so we will be happy to, we try to incorporate those into our podcast to see if there's anything that we can cover that would help other people as well. So if you just have comments, we're happy to hear that. So we want to thank you for listening today, and we hope to have you here next time as well. I'm Barb, and thanks for joining us here at Real Talk Dog Talk.
I'm Tori, and thanks again.
Have a great day.
Bye.